In this lesson, we're going to discuss the difference between the displacement and the distance traveled. So we can look at this situation where my robot starts at the origin, and maybe you have it travel very fast to the right. It ends all the way up at 6 centimeters after 1 second, and then you bring it to a stop after 2 seconds at 8 centimeters, and then you have it go backwards. Maybe it's at 3 centimeters at 3 seconds, and then it's back at the origin at 4 seconds. So one way we can help look at the flow of our diagram is to use our dots, the particle model. And so we can see it starts at the origin at 0, goes over here at 1 second, it's here at 2 seconds, then it turns back around, and then I'm going to put a dot here at 3 seconds, and a final one here at 4 seconds. Now, to better help us understand what we're looking at, I want to connect my dots. I'm going to start from 0 and go all the way over to 1, and use an arrow showing that it goes to the right. Another one going to the right from 1 to 2. And since these are in a straight line, I'm just going to have this shifted just ever so slightly down, and then go from 2 to 3. There's my arrow. And then 3 to 4. And so from this picture I can see that initially I'm moving to the right, and then after 2 seconds I turn back around and I move to the left back to my origin. So now this took 4 seconds, so let's make a few marks in our time column, 0 to 4. And now we want to talk about and find, well, what is the displacement? Well, we remember that our displacement is where am I with respect to where did I start. So at 0 seconds, my final was 0 centimeters. My initial is 0 centimeters, so my displacement is 0. My distance, well, I haven't moved yet, so my distance says, well, I haven't gone anywhere. Therefore, it's 0 as well. What about at 1 second? Well, at 1 second, we're at 0. At 1 second, I am at 6 centimeters. I started at 0 centimeters. Therefore, my displacement should be 6 centimeters. What about my distance traveled? Well, that too. I wound up at 6 centimeters to the right. I started at 0 centimeters. Therefore, I've traveled 6 centimeters. Again, we can do the same. I'm ending at 8 centimeters to the right. Means this will be 8. And my distance traveled is 8 as well. Now, at 3 seconds, we're going to notice that the displacement and the distance traveled start to give us different numbers. So what happens at 3 seconds? Well, at 3 seconds, where am I? I'm at 3 centimeters. Where did I start? 0 centimeters. Therefore, my displacement is 3 centimeters. What about my distance traveled? Well, at 3 seconds, my distance traveled, I traveled all the way out to the 8 centimeter mark when I was moving to the right, and then we turned around and we moved back. Well, how far did I move back? Well, I was at 8, and I go to 3, so that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I moved 8 to the right, and then I moved 5 back, for a total of 13 centimeters. So the total distance traveled is 13 centimeters, but my displacement is 3 centimeters. So I'm only 3 centimeters away from where I started, but I've traveled 13 centimeters. We can do the same with our last point. My displacement at 4 seconds, we'll add 0 centimeters as I'm back at the origin. I started at the origin, therefore my displacement is 0 centimeters. How far did I actually travel? Well, I traveled 8 centimeters to the right. I turned around and I traveled an additional 8 centimeters back to the origin, giving me a total of 16 centimeters. So again, we can see that when we talk about displacement, we're talking about how far are we from where we began. And our distance traveled talks about, well, how far did the robot go?